I'm escaping New York City for a quaint little cabin trip over in the Poconos, and roadworks. When you pass by the typical scene of traffic cones and hard hats on the highway, you're looking at one of two things: repair or expansion. Repair deals with the wear and tear that 50 years of traversing has naturally wreaked on the roads. Expansion is all about adding more to what's there. Just off exit 308 here on I-80, I'm seeing work going on outside a town called East Stroudsburg. In the past decade, it's seen some economic growth, bringing more traffic into town. So they're building new bridges, adding roundabouts, and widening the highway from 4 to 6 lanes for the 80,000 vehicles coming through daily. Even though adding lanes just puts more cars on the road. Road conditions across the country have been in decline for decades. Sure, the UK leaves a lot to be desired, but I never saw so many roadwork ahead signs back home.
Okay, here we go.
Now that a historic infrastructure bill promises to revolutionize the nation's highways, I wanted to figure out why all these highways need such chronic repair in the first place. But first, let's cover the expansion part. 1,600 miles southwest of my cabin in the woods, I-45 in Houston, Texas is crawling with traffic. Texas Department of Transportation is itching to get started with their $9 billion highway improvement project, but a federal investigation has it in limbo. The planners want to repair, reroute, and widen the highway, adding 4 more lanes to relieve congestion after Houston spent the last decade boosting its population 9.8%. The Federal Highway Administration is keeping a keen eye on how this project, decades in the making, will keep up with 21st century standards. That means considering the environmental and local impact. It's had strong resistance from locals since it'll displace 1,000 homes and businesses in mostly Black and Latino neighborhoods. At least Houston's got population growth to explain its plans for more lanes. Some cities like AKRON, Ohio, are widening their highways in a time of population decline. Maybe everyone's a little suspicious that making expansion a solution distracts from the real problem at the heart of U.S.Highways. Quality, not quantity.
States have prioritized building new roads, adding lanes, which is expensive, it takes up a lot of money, and it adds to the amount of roadway that you have to maintain.
The interstate highway system was created to serve the car and the demand for freedom of long-distance travel, but the system's biggest issue today is upkeep. The roads were designed mostly for moderate private car use, and not quite so many heavy freight vehicles jumping from rail to asphalt.
The further south you go, the younger the roads are, right? So the oldest roads are in the Northeast. They were originally designed for a 20 to 30 year design life, and most of them are 50 to 100 years old and haven't been replaced because it's always cheaper to just do an overlay instead of take care of everything underneath. And so when you're talking about a political cycle that's maybe 2 years long or maybe 4 years long, people really aren't looking at the 30, 40, 50 years out.
The ASCE presents infrastructure report cards every 4 years, and their latest grade, frankly, you would be reluctant to show your folks. Overall infrastructure gets a C-. And for roads, yeah, we got a D.
We found that 40% of the highways in this country are in fair to poor condition, which fundamentally means they have to be reconstructed from the bottom up.
Why not just build them to last longer in the first place? The higher the lifespan, the higher the cost. To cover nearly 45,000 miles of interstate highway, just getting it all done was a feat in itself. How long it would last under the weight of a growing population of drivers was the future's problem. Well, now the present problem. Over in Europe, highway designers have used all sorts of techniques, but what could have saved US highways time and money in the long run are thicker roadbeds and ample concrete. For instance, road surfaces on the Autobahn, Germany's high-speed highway network, use several layers of concrete. And if they spot any damage, all the road around the damaged area is replaced. US highways have traditionally been built on asphalt. Cheaper than concrete, more forgiving, and faster to lay down. It's not long lasting, but it's quick to fix. And if it's too much to repair, you can just resurface the entire road within the day. The problem is, you'll be repeating this every few years. Highway maintenance has historically been paid for by a federal gasoline tax, fed into the Highway Trust Fund. But since 1993, the 18.4 cents tax hasn't budged a cent, and inflation has gutted its buying power. The shortage in federal funding has gathered a backlog of repair projects totaling $435 billion, and it shows. So look here, maybe $500 billion could help.
We just last year passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act at the federal level, which is a huge new federal investment in transportation funding.
Of the $550 billion, about 2/3 is going to be some type of formula, and about 1/3 is going to be applications. And so it's a Hunger Game of sorts.
So what more can we do to future-proof a notoriously outdated highway system?
When you see infrastructure in other countries, and quite frankly, some countries that, 5-10 years ago, you would have considered third world, their infrastructure is fabulous compared to ours. Ours is old and it's tired. We haven't reinvested in it.
Look, I can't tell you that future roads will be free from pesky potholes. I can't say that they won't be riddled with repair projects for years to come, but this new bill is considered the most important shift in infrastructure that the US has seen since Eisenhower gave us a good explainer idea.
It really is, but it's still not enough. I mean, that's how big the problem is. I'm excited about the fact that I think in the next 5 years, if we're successful in doing things differently and providing this value for money that we're looking at, it will set the glide path for the next 30 years.
But for now, just be thankful that this isn't your commute to work. Wait. You think this is the only video we've done on infrastructure? Look, check out the channel, subscribe, have a look around, make yourself at home.